Hello, Shrewdness fans. Welcome to the podcast today. We have a lot to talk about. Life is good in Wintersville.
Woo!
As a KC Royals and or Chiefs fan. Let's get into it.
It's awesome.
Chiz, you want to recap the Royals game 2 win?
What I want to start with. Okay, so number one, we're in the division series since the last time we spoke to you, which is incredible. Number two, because the Major League Baseball, I won't bleepity bleep, doesn't reseed for whatever stupid reason in the world. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We had to play the Yankees, which, would make you angry usually, but it is really nice that we are rekindling a rivalry here. It's an old school rivalry, more of a 70s, 80s George Brett era rivalry. Everyone is laughing at us, thinking we have no chance. We got game one robbed, which we could talk about a little more in depth, but we were robbed. We were screwed. Basically, MLB said, hey, we're going to let the Yankees win game one. So they won game one. And then in game two, we fought valiantly so as to even up the series. One of the things, we'll dive into the games, but one of the things I want to point out is this is crazy, okay? This is so 2024 Kansas City Royals. We're tied 1-1 in a best-of-5 series with a team that's supposedly the best team in the American League, the Yankees. Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting 158 in the playoffs. Vinny Pasquantino is hitting 125 in the playoffs. And Sal Perez is hitting 250. 250 is respectable, but those are your three power hitters. If you told me that we would be tied 1-1 in the division series with the Yankees and Bobby Witt Jr. and Vinny Pasquantino were hitting 158, 125 respectively, I would have told you to go jump in a very, very, very cold lake because there's no chance in hell that that's going to be happening. So the fact that we are in this spot speaks so many volumes to how this team plays and what this team is about. It's very on brand for Royals teams that have done well in the playoffs. We've never been superstar driven when we get to the playoffs. We are team driven. We win team ball. We do not ride a dude. We do not take the coattails of a Madison Bumgarner. We win with Garrett Hampson going 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs in the first 2 games.
Respect on my Garrett Hampson's name. That's right. RESPECT.
Oh,
Garrett Hampson.
By the way, you don't think that Yankees fans are having some Yuli Gurriel and Garrett Hampson trauma right now? Like they're just like every time they see them come up, they're just like, "Oh no!"
Totally.
No, stop.
Totally. It is. This is true team ball, and it's so great. It's the way Kansas City wins when it comes to the Royals, when it comes to baseball. We're never going to have Aaron Judge. We're never going to have Juan Soto. You know what? It's 1-1. And no matter what Mr. Chisholm, my namesake, says, we got lucky. No, you know what? You got lucky. It should be 2-0 Royals. It should be 2-0 Royals in this series. The Yankees should be sweating a sweep heading into Kansas City. And I cannot wait to see the next 2 games play out. I can't.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be really good.
I don't want to get into umpire complaining mode, but that game 1 was pretty brutal. Obviously, the most publicized was the very clear review on Jazz Chisholm's easy caught stealing. He was out. Everybody thought he was out.
Everyone. Daylight between a shoe and the bag. This is going to be an easy overturn.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yankees Twitter called him out.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're biased.
That was bad.
Wait a minute.
But I'm telling you, when Waka got squeezed on a clear strike
3
on
Labor Day
on Gleyber Torres, and then he comes around to score in a 1-run game.
Yep.
And also Jazz Chisholm, who he also scored. So 2 runs
both of those
in a 1-run game.
The final out, the Bobby Witt supposed strike that was below his
Bobby
knees.
Witt, pitch was 3 inches below the zone. It
Yeah.
was clear.
It hadn't been called all
daylight
day
there,
either.
too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't like
No.
they've been calling it all day. You're like, well, you got
A
to
lot
swing
of
that.
a lot of questionable calls in game one. Game two was a no doubter. The Royals had like 10 hits.
Yeah, they
They ended up
actually
with 11
underperformed
hits.
in knocking the people in, and again, that comes back.
No,
to,
but you know what? The thing that's beautiful about game two is, number one, who started it?
Cole
Reagans.
Reagans. Oh,
Who
man,
started
Did
it?
you guys see that? Did you guys see him stare down Soto after that strikeout?
Yes. It was nice.
So Soto
right?
had been pulling this like nonsense, like some stuff to like intimidation tactics, and then Reagan strikes him out and stares him off the batter's
Great.
box until he gets back in
Great.
the dugout. It was awesome.
And then
There's some stink, man. There's
There
gonna be
is.
some. There's
I
gonna
love
be
it.
some like stuff. There's gonna
Historical
be-
stank.
I love
It's
it.
right
I
there.
love the historical thing. I love seeing George Brett up in the
Yeah, I
suite.
was just gonna go there.
Just
George
going
Brett still
nuts.
bringing it.
I'm
over
predicting some
every-
fisticuffs. I'm telling
mean-
you, there's fisticuffs a coming.
But I'll tell
It's
you,
happening. I promise.
this is what was so emblematic of that fourth inning where the Royals are down 1-0. We're down 1-0 in the series. Who leads off? El Capitan.
Boom!
El
Salvi!
Capitan with a no doubter. I mean, freaking
He
400.
wagged his tongue
402.
right back at stupid ass Rodon.
Just
Lovely non-bat
killed
flip,
it.
bat flip. If y'all didn't
Oh,
notice,
so
he just
great,
casually drops the bat, like
right?
It was
It was
delightful.
so
But
great. And
he also gave him the tongue wag back because Rodon
Yes.
was being just the bee's knees in the first inning, just so
Right.
easy. It's like, oh my god, woo!
oh,
What
this
an
is so easy.
a-hole. God, it's so easy to hate when you
It
have
is.
people like that on the other team.
It really is. It really is. And so,
Let
like,
the hate flow through
So-
you.
But even then, what happened? Royals frenzied hitting.
Yeah.
Frenzied hitting. It's not. We're relying on Juan Soto to hit a home run and Aaron Judge to hit a home run. It's
Joke
hey,
of a ballpark.
we're gonna single. We're gonna walk. We're gonna steal a base. We're gonna move a guy over. We're gonna single. We're gonna single. Like that is how we win. And we all of a sudden we get 4 runs, and all of a sudden like it's a huge deficit, especially when you got the pitching that the Royals have. So that is like, it's not sexy. It's not like Shohei Ohtani's going to hit it to the moon, but holy cow, it is so cool to watch. And,
It is.
and to
Been all
watch,
year.
yeah, to watch the guys who have been much maligned in the bullpen, like really come on in the postseason has been fun. I mean, Bubic, we talked about him at the beginning of the season, and this is one of the things we were right on, right? Hey,
That's
bring
right.
the power arm to the bullpen. And he has
Yep.
been a revelation. He's been a revelation in the bullpen for us. He's been super solid. Schreiber's back to high leverage Schreiber. Zerpa, a guy who got sent down to AAA a month ago.
Boy, he had a big inning in the first game.
Oh, had a huge inning in the first game.
It was terrible in the first game, but
Yes, yeah, but,
You know, he
but
great in the second game.
it was great in the
No,
second game.
Zerpa walked like 3 straight people.
I thought that
So-
was his second inning, though.
Yeah.
I thought the first inning he got out of a bases loaded jam.
I think that's right. That's right.
Then he
isn't it?
got rocked around the second inning.
I think that's right. But
Okay, fine, but I don't believe that's true. But that's fine.
but regardless,
in fact, I'm 99% sure. We can go back and look. But what happened was they brought in Zerpa to replace Waka after Waka got squeezed, and then he walked like 3 more people, and then we gave up the runs. And
Oh, you might be
walked
right.
into-
I'm looking back. I'm on the wrong game. You're correct.
Yeah.
but he's great
Yeah,
in
that's
game
right.
too. Like
So
That's
this
right.
game two, the Royals. So 2 points that I wanted to make. Number one, Reagan's threw 87 pitches.
In
Quatraro
4
didn't
innings.
throw him back out there for a 5th inning, right? He got him out of there. He knew he was done. He'd walked 4 people. He didn't have his maybe best stuff, but
Waka went 4 and Reagan's went 4, and it was a right
Yep.
decision.
Which in the
Yeah,
modern day
totally.
of playoff baseball, 4 innings is like a quality start now.
Yeah.
Give me 4,
So
less
that
than
was-
3.
So we had talked throughout this whole season about Quatraro sticking with his starter one too many innings,
yeah,
right? He trots him back out there for one too many innings. He's wised up. He's pulled him after 4, both games so far.
that's true.
Bullpen came in and threw 5 innings, gave up a home run in the 9th that didn't matter.
Yeah, that was completely whatever.
And
Yeah.
then, otherwise shut him down.
Do you
I mean,
think some of
Did
that
y'all
is
see? Did y'all see Urseg on the final pitch?
He was excited.
He throws the ball. He doesn't look over his shoulder as soon as it became a grounder and he was going towards Witt. He just starts doing his celebrating and fist pumping, assuming that he's going to get the ball and throw him out. Like, it was delightful. Go back and look how funny it is.
So
he
cool.
just immediately starts.
I do remember that. And I even says, like, oh, he knows the Platinum Glover's going to make this play.
Right?
Boo! It's just too easy. I think
Totally.
that's exactly what I said would happen. But how fun is it? And I want to give some shout out to just the pickups the Royals made.
Yeah.
That we pseudo-mocked. We picked up.
Yuli might get a statue.
Exactly. Some professional hitters, right, that have been there before, done it before, been in the playoffs. Yuli Gurriel, Tommy Pham.
Yeah.
They've been there, done it, right? And I just think the way they just fit right in. Like, this is a team like
I've always loved Pham, though. I mean,
I've always loved Tommy Pham. But Yuli, he's coming on strong. And I think just having
For the shrewdness listeners, in case I need to reset, Chisholm and I have complained about Pham, and please God don't pick up Pham all year long. All God blessed year long.
it's so
And
true.
then they pick him up, and we're like, yep, always loved him. He's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why we didn't get him earlier.
Right? I mean,
Michael Garcia quietly had 4 hits yesterday, too.
4 for 5. 4
Yes.
for 5. Like, this is the thing that's crazy about this series so far. If you're going into this series, you go, man, our big guns have to have huge games. That's the only way we're going to beat the Yankees. They haven't had. I mean, besides the Salvi home run, we have been carried by the likes of Garcia, Gurriel,
Even Melinda's got a hold of one.
Melendez, and Garrett Hampson. I mean, like,
Look, all right, we're going to have this out again, Dexter. I'm going to have it out again. Yuli Gurriel's hitting 231 for the postseason so far.
yeah.
Positive or negative? Oh, wait. His OBP is 375, and he has scored 4 runs. All right?
Getting on
Yuli
base.
Gurriel is freaking on pace to be the MVP of our entire freaking playoff because he's getting
hitter.
on base.
Well,
I've never
Garrett
said
Hampson,
getting on base is a
come
bad
on.
thing. I don't know where that's coming from.
It's got to be Garrett Hampson. He's 1,000 across the board. I mean, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Like, he is just. He's been a. Oh,
I
I'm
start him. I'm going to say right now, I would start him.
Just start him.
I would give
Why
him the
not?
start.
Why not?
They can't get him out right now. They'll ride the hot hand.
I mean,
Yeah.
but then Massey's hitting 400. Like, I mean, these are guys that
Why
you
aren't
do
we
not
ineffective
expect.
because nobody can knock him in? But yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's
but
the thing. I mean, you have 4 hits by Garcia, and he doesn't score a run.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Well,
It's because your
One
2,
was a
3, and 4
two-plan,
are hitting a
unfortunately.
combined like
0.
Right.
6 for
Yeah.
50 or something.
I will
it's
say
not good.
I'm very excited. I was super upset after game 1 that we weren't running. So I felt like a key for us is like putting pressure on the
That
Yankees.
catcher is ass.
He's horrible. And
Yeah.
I was like, going into the series, people talked about, oh, the Royals have such an advantage on the base paths and with speed. And we didn't attempt a stolen base in the first game. So I was like, what is going on here? But this second game, we put the pedal to the metal. We had stolen bases. We were advancing runners. You know, we were sending guys instead of holding them at third, making them make plays.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and it worked. So I hope we'd see more of that, honestly, when we get to Kansas City.
Same. And hopefully Bobby Witt gets on because you know he's going.
So,
I just feel like that dam's going to burst soon.
it's
I
got
agree.
to.
It may burst on the other side, and we might start getting some Aaron Judge nonsense too. Don't get me wrong.
That's
But I
true.
feel like that Witt's going to start picking it up. It's going to start. He's just got to stop pressing.
Yeah, they're just the talent's too high for all those guys not just
That's right.
take care of it.
I
But
need him to
we
come
get
on
Cy Lugo
strong
going
in the
into Game
World
3.
Series.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we
That's
got
it.
Cy Lugo.
So going into Game 3, yep, Cy Lugo is going. I forgot to.
Clark Schmidt.
Yankees. Oh, Schmidt. Yeah, Clark Schmidt. So surprisingly not bad. Like his record's weird, 5-5, but he's got 2.85 ERA. So he's done well. But I think we've all been pleasantly surprised by Seth Lugo all season, and he's had a couple floppers in there, but for the most part, he's been consistent. And professional pitcher, man, he's going to give us a good game, I think.
And every once in a while, he's had some gems. He's had the 2 best
That's
starts
right.
of the season. So,
Yeah.
you got that cross your fingers. Possibility exists that he could string another one of his best performances. When you throw like 10 pitches, sometimes you get people completely discombobulated up there.
Clark
So
Schmidt.
back on September 10th, he faced the Yankees and went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs, struck out 10.
That we'll take that all day.
I would
has
like
Schmidt,
a repeat, please.
Has Schmidt faced the Royals, Prue? I don't know if you can look that up. I do know that if you look at Schmidt over 3 years, he's pretty much a league average guy, right? He's like a 4.5 ERA guy.
He has not faced the Royals this year.
He's not a guy that's going to strike fear into your heart. So we've got a good chance to make some noise. And then if you win that game, the pressure is severely on the Yankees because you got Game 4 at Kansas City. Who would our starter be?
Baby.
Who would our starter be in that?
It's Waka. They've already announced it.
It's going to be Waka.
They're scared of Singer versus the Yankees. He's too prone to home runs.
Yeah. Which I don't blame him.
He also showed, like, if you pull his stats against good teams, he gets crushed, but he just beat up on the crappy teams. And I think that he's just going to be a long relief guy until the next series.
Well, I'm surprised.
Hopefully, we don't need to see him then.
Well, and we haven't yet. And we used Lorenzen in long relief Game 1 as opposed to him, which I think is probably going to be the pattern. Because to your point, Lou, I think it's 100% because of the home run ball. He throws a straight ball, right? And that's what guys like Judge love to see. So
Judge and Stanton and Soto.
Yeah.
And
we don't need to give him anything.
That's what kills me. Like, they don't really have. Like, it is Stanton and Judge, maybe Jazz Chisholm. I don't know. He's like not even that great. But like they basically have 2 wits, and that's the difference.
3.
Yeah. 2.5.
Third.
I wouldn't count Stanton.
Third.
Soto.
Soto.
I mean, Stanton's
Soto
a
and
good.
Judge.
He's a better Renfroe.
You said Stanton, but
Oh, I'm sorry, Soto and Judge. Yeah.
Yep, Soto and Judge, but then they have their own
Stanton-
Renfroe.
I mean,
Stanton is ass too. I mean, like, he
Stanton
might
has
get
a
home
ton
run
of
in the
power,
series,
but he's like a.
He's slower than any of us. I feel like we could go out there and run to first faster than him. I feel like they could play around the horn and still throw him out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's helpful on those
It's
ground balls.
unbelievable.
Well,
Yeah.
so to his credit, he hit the piss out of that ball.
Well, that's
It
the
was a
thing.
hard hit grounder.
He still has enough that he can turn a ball around for sure. But like he doesn't hit for average anymore. He's a super low, but he's still got the power. And if you're hitting against a singer, Stanton would love a singer. That's the thing. So
Oh yeah, that's why I don't think they want to do it. I don't think
I agree.
They can afford to.
Yeah.
We don't need to.
Let's pivot over to the other awesome part about Kansas City sports right now, where Patty Mahomes will be in the stands this Wednesday watching his Royals take on the Yankees. But in the meantime, he's busy just winning games, ugly or not.
Hold on, Dex.
5-0.
Hold on. Let's give a quick update on what's going on with the rest of the MLB playoffs for the Royals' sake.
Also, I do have a playoff beard. I just want everybody to know. Hopefully, next time we have a podcast, y'all see this all like bushy, what have you?
Stragglier and nastier. That's what we're looking for.
The most important thing for us is obviously the other American League series that's going on right now. It's Guardians and Tigers.
1-1 right now.
It's 1-1, kind of went as expected with Scooble getting his win and Cleveland winning the other one. I think still we are really rooting hard for the Tigers.
As expected, Clase gave up a 3-run home run. That dude gave up 3 runs all year.
But Scooble did 7 innings of shutout ball, which is what Scooble's done all year long.
You got if the Tigers are going to win a game, it's a Scooble game. So you got to count on the Scooble game. I mean, if we're looking at what should happen, is the next 2 games should go to the Guardians, and that's the ball game. From a Royals standpoint, go Tigers. That's all I'm going to say.
I think either one of those teams. The thing is with a division team.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Go Tigers?
For sure.
I beg to differ.
Oh,
Who did
no,
we
you're
win the
crazy.
season series against?
I know, but here's the deal. Like you've got one pitcher that if you're going to a game, the next series is 7 games, right? The next series is a 7-game series. So, you're probably getting him twice. You might get him if there's a game 7, a third
You might
time.
mad bum him.
There's nobody in that lineup that scares me. Nobody. Like I can't like
They
who
did
in the,
just sweep us. They swept us.
who and the Tigers scares you?
They swept us.
Who
right?
on the Tigers scares
They
you?
literally just swept us.
Who
All
scares
of them. They
you?
all scare me. They just swept us. We actually have been matched up and played very well against the Indians all year. We won the season series against them. I would rather have Cleveland.
Not
I
a
think
chance.
Cleveland's more worried about us than the Detroit. Detroit feels like they have our number. They've got swagger. They kick the crap out
Detroit
of us.
has been winning a lot of games the last 3 weeks.
They are. They're
They're
hot.
hot. I don't want the hot team. I want the
I
team
don't care.
that
I
I,
don't
know
care.
that we have been able to beat.
Return to the mean, and return to the mean works against us in 2 ways here. One, it works for us with the Tigers because they just swept us. The odds of them sweeping us again and the odds of them staying red hot for all the way through the World Series is crazy low. Number 2, we've owned the Indians. The odds of us owning the Indians continually through the next 7-game series is incredibly low. Return to the mean, man. Return to the mean. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I just don't think
I want the
Cleveland's
Tigers.
that good.
I know,
don't
here's
think
the thing.
Cleveland's
So,
that good.
on that
Cleveland
note,
was over their
Chisholm,
skis all year.
where you think things just can't happen as an also Twins fan, when we look at the history against the Yankees in the playoffs, it is 0 for life. It is.
True.
You will absolutely lose the series if they show up. We cannot win. We will not win. We won't even win a game. Like, just mail it in, bet on the sweep, and you'll get your money.
Right.
I mean, so I hear you, but sometimes there is no mean.
Okay, let me just
pummel people.
Let me read you the murderer's row that is the Detroit Tigers lineup. We got Parker Meadows leading off. Then we go to the number 2 hitter, Kerry Carpenter. Stop me when you've heard of any of these people. Then
Carpenter played for the freaking Cardinals, and he was a Royals killer.
No, wrong Carpenter.
No,
wrong
that's
Carpenter.
That's Matt Carpenter.
That's
That's Matt Carpenter. So this is Kerry Carpenter.
I don't care. His name's Carpenter. It freaks me out.
Then in the 3
They're probably
hole,
related. They're probably related.
I start anxious.
in the 3 hole, your Matt Vierling comes up, which is known for his postseason antics. Then 4th, hitting in the cleanup spot, Riley Green. I'll give you he may cause a blip in the heart rate, Riley Green. But then we go to the number 5 hitter, Colt Keith, who sounds like
Keith. He's pretty good.
Who sounds like a Texas
fan.
He sounds like a Texas quarterback. Then we go to Spencer Torkelson, who's the biggest bust ever.
Former number 1 pick overall, wasn't he?
Former number 1 pick overall. Zach McKinstry. Then we go to the shortstop, Trey Sweeney, rounding it out with the catcher, Jake Rogers. Who the hell are these guys? Are you seriously telling me you would rather face that than
They're the team that went 36-14 the last month.
Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Stephen Kwan. I mean, come on. This is crazy talk. That's insanity.
The Tigers have a much better starting pitching run, and they also have the best pitcher in baseball right now.
They have the best pitcher.
I do not want to see Detroit.
Tarek Skubal is going to win every game he pitches against us.
Yeah, you may see him 3 times. Whereas I think the Indians have been over their skis all year long. They have Ramirez. I would just walk Ramirez literally every time.
First.
I can't stand facing him. I'm terrified of him. I have nightmares of him. I literally have had nightmares of him. But Josh Naylor is a beer league softball dude who is not that good. He just has had a couple reasonable good hits against the Royals. Not scared of either of the Naylor brothers, and then the rest of the lineup's kind of garbage.
And if we take the cooler off second base, I think they'll really suck. You gotta get
They're
rid of
not
that
that good, and their pitching has really fallen off the face of the earth. And then Clase has now shown that he's
okay.
he is
Wait,
mortal.
hold on. Tell me just so I know who it is. Who is it you're afraid of in the Detroit lineup again?
Literally everybody.
Can you
because
remember?
they just swept us.
Can you remember one of the hitters in the Detroit lineup?
It's kind of
Riley
right
Green,
in front of me, so
Cole
yeah.
Keith, Kerry
I could
Carpenter,
read off
Matt
Malloy,
Torkelson.
Vierling, Ibanez, Green, Perez, Torkelson, Meadows, Sweeney. So yeah, I can actually read them all off because it's on the computer in front of me. But again, I am telling you, I could have named off most of them to begin with. They scare me way more. And if you really want the Indians, great. Fine. I'm so happy that you want them. They are not good, and I think that I'd rather face them. So.
Okay, it is kind of funny. So I just looked at Andy Ibanez's career stats. It was pretty good. 256, 24 homers, 107 RBIs, 6 stolen bases. That's with 952 at bats. That is like 2 seasons worth.
Their payroll is $12 million or something. I mean, dear God, this shouldn't even be a discussion.
But they're winning. I don't like hot teams. I'm with Lewis. I don't want them. Give me Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland's going to choke. It's in there. That's his DNA.
And we get home field.
Okay.
And we get home field.
We can't hit Reese Olson. We can't touch Reese Olson. The only reason we knocked Reese Olson out, we literally hit a ball and knocked him out. But otherwise, Reese Olson absolutely owns us.
I don't get owned by Reese Olson. But now we got some tape on him.
You're afraid of Reese Olson.
The Goblins have many enemies, Chisholm. Reese Olson is among them.
This is
All right, so clearly we're in disagreement on this. We're gonna see who wins that series, and then we're gonna face
Reese Olson had a 3.53 ERA, a 1.18 WHIP. He had almost a strikeout for every single inning pitched.
So he's league average. So what's his WHIP?
1.18.
No, I'm sorry, not his WHIP. What's his wins above replacement? What's his WAR?
1.2. And the only reason it was 1.2 was because he missed half the season after the Royals knocked him out.
So he gets you 2 wins above replacement a year.
For a pitcher, that's really good because pitchers don't get to move the needle very much because they only play one every 5 days, Chisholm. But you don't really have to be a baseball savant to figure that part out.
So you're telling me that you would rather face the Cleveland Indians, who were basically wire-to-wire #1 team in our division.
I don't believe in them. I think they're overrated. I think they're ahead of their skis.
The #1 team in our division for the entire season.
I was never scared of them.
Never scared. They're poop.
With 10 times the payroll.
We have wasted way too much time on this. We're going to move on.
All right.
It's insane.
In other news, San Diego is getting ready to beat LA to go up 2-1.
Holy crap!
And the Mets
there's a lot
have
of
already
They don't have
This is
pitching, man.
they've already beat Philly to go up 2-1. So
This is nuts. This is the year to get lucky, man, because everything's all up in the air.
Yeah, if you took all underdogs going into this series, you're feeling pretty good right now.
yeah. You're
All right.
doing well.
So 8 minutes ago, I tried to pivot us to Chiefs.
Let's do it. Pivot,
Let's
go.
try it out, baby. Let's start this again.
Running
So
out
the
of time.
other
I gotta
team
get to
that's
bed.
doing really well in Kansas City is the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs. Our beloved Chiefs are off to a fantastic start, despite what many people would arguably say we've not really played that well. But despite not playing well, we're still 5-0, which should be very nerve-wracking to nearly everybody that we haven't even played well yet.
Nope.
So we've lost our top 2 wideouts as we hit on last week. So we're down Rice and Hollywood Brown. Travis Kelce had been a no-show so far this season. But I dare say that even down Pacheco, down Hollywood, down Rice, we're still doing all right with our ragtag bunch of running backs because it's what's old is new again in Kansas City. What's old is new again. We have Juju Smith back, who still fondly remembers his Super Bowl winning season. We got Kareem Hunt back, who knows he should have been on a Super Bowl winning team, but for him. So we have him playing. God, he looks like he's back in 2018. Honestly, he's playing great in the last. I didn't think he could do this well. And then again, Kelsey back in. I think mostly by necessity. We tried to keep our Corvette in the garage until November, December. Looks like we got to get her out and spin the wheel. So Kelsey shows back up with a great game, great targets, and doing some typical Kelsey things. Hucking the ball sideways in the middle of a third down play to Samaje Perine, who wasn't expecting it. He's like, oh, my God, here it is. And then Patty Mahomes' quote in the post game was just hilarious. It's like, Trap, we're just going down here, getting the field goal range. But sometimes it's like I'm talking to Sterling, so Patty's daughter. And that was just hilarious for him to.
Like 2 years
I can see it. I can totally see that. But what are you guys' reflections on Monday night and then the season in general so far?
Okay, I got a quick. What is the highest grade of these 5 games on a classic, American, you were grading an A through F scale? What's the highest grade for any of these games would you give the Chiefs?
You mean individually or as a whole?
Yeah, in aggregate, which of these games would you have given
the best grade to?
Score? The best game they played, what grade would you kind of give the best game they played this year?
I would probably give the high score to the Ravens game.
What would you give it?
B- probably.
See, I think C+ is their best effort so far. I don't think they've even hit a B, even like B-.
I could go there.
I think that's the line. I don't think that. I mean, I actually would have said last night's game felt the most complete.
That's right.
That was still, I think, a C+. I don't think they were. I mean, I don't know. I would argue though, like if you were to break it down, I don't think the Chiefs have done less than an A level work from the defense. Maybe the first game that was like a
that's
B,
true.
Maybe a B+. But I mean, Spags has been on another planet.
What's your
freaking zero cover blitz on 4th down?
Oh, that's what you do, baby. I love it.
Everyone, and then he got some people out of the stands and sent them too. I couldn't believe it. It was insane. It was so beautiful.
So true.
Well, it was beautiful until the guy, probably should have caught it, but still, that's what Spags does. He's going to put the pressure on and make you beat him with an amazing play.
Yeah, it would have had that. You're right. It was going to be an amazing catch if he caught that ball.
So Lou, what's your? I mean, to me, they dominated last night.
That's where I'm at. I'm giving it an A last night.
It was not a typical Chiefs win.
Yep.
But they just said, "How about we put on 4 tight ends and a bruiser running back, and we are going to just cram it down your throats for 38 minutes."
Mm-hmm.
They still had the interception. They still had some. My point is, if the goal of making these grades is like, well, we put it on a percent. Like, was this game 100%? Nobody ever gets 100%. But what's like their 90th percentile answer? I don't think they've touched that. I think you might have some 80th percentile per like what they could do so far. I think last night was a relatively comfortable, but they didn't. That game was close, and they could have beaten the piss out of them.
Yeah. So the second Saints touchdown when they missed the extra point, so that kind of deflated them. But it was it was getting ready to be 16-14 at that point.
Yeah, we were up 3 points.
It was a game.
But kind of like what we had earlier this season too. Like even when it's close, it felt like we were up 20 the whole game. Like I was never really worried. And we look at the stat line. So here's why I think.
You're right. You guys are right. Last night was the best game. I went back and looked at stats.
Yeah,
it was the best game.
We have.
I don't think Mahomes. It was an A though. I think
it's a B+ because we had a couple mistakes.
Yeah, I'll give you a.
But listen to what we did though.
Yeah, it was amazing
against a good New Orleans team, mind you. This is not a crap team, and Derek Carr didn't go out to the very end. So Patrick Mahomes 331 against a not a bad defense. We had Travis Kelce show up 9 for 70. We had Juju 7 for 130. We had our wideout going all over the place. We had Kareem Hunt 27 carries for 102 yards and a catch. And then on the other side, our defense held 13 points. We held Kamara, one of the toughest runners in the league this year, to 26 stupid yards. And
yes, I know that.
Chris Olave, 2 catches for 10 yards. Their number one wideout. So all across
Is
the
he?
board,
Is he? Might
Chris
be
Olave,
Shaheed.
he
might be
is all day long.
Well,
Stop
so
it,
Shaheed
Shaheed
had
owner.
the big play.
Yeah, one
I mean,
big play on
Yeah.
kind of a botched coverage. So be it.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
85-year-old
a
Smith
Shaheed
Schuster
truther.
caught
Have been
85-year-old
since
Smith
yesterday.
Schuster caught more than both of them combined. So, I mean,
That is absolutely true.
I did not. So, my boy Turk Wharton from Missouri S&T
Yes.
got a sack last night. Good
And a
for him.
costly penalty.
Awesome. Every other play, Chris Jones was barreling through the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
They could
amazing.
not block him all night, and he was chasing the new quarterback, the rookie quarterback, at the end of the game there.
Yeah, that was
When
funny.
he rolled out to the right.
I will
The dude
say,
looked over his shoulder, and I thought he was running from a bear. Like
Yeah,
he
I was like,
looked
"Oh, God."
terrified.
80th percentile up to 85th percentile last night. I think they beat most teams with what they did last night. I get that.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Yeah.
it was an A
But
still.
to your point, Lou, to your point, I mean, I will say, like, Patrick Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
They
like,
stalled out in the red zone
That's
like
exactly
multiple
it.
times.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
that's what
how
I'm
many
saying.
ga-
It wasn't a perfect game.
If you tell me going into a game Patrick Mahomes is not going to throw a touchdown, I'm going to be like, we're probably going to lose then. Like that just doesn't happen. And I mean, yeah, he threw for 331 yards. The big knock, right, is we haven't figured the red zone out yet, and that's got to change for sure.
Well, we figured out 3rd and 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Holy Hannah! I made this point to you guys. I'm going to make it on the podcast. Look, I'm a Pacheco guy. Don't get me wrong. That guy's 20 carries for 80 yards, and he can catch the ball, and he runs hard and get all these things. But he's just not that bell cow. Kareem Hunt, 29 yards. He hits that hole, and people just start like old Tecmo Bowl. They just start like flying everywhere. Like it's crazy. You can hear it's just amazing. I missed Kareem Hunt, and he looks like old Kareem Hunt, and he gets 25 carries, 100 yards.
You know what the weird thing about that is, Lewis? Like, this Kareem Hunt did not exist in Cleveland. Like,
I know.
If you watched
when he first got there, he did.
The first season with him and Chubb was really good.
Yeah, the first season, but I mean, it's been a while. Like, there should not be this. It's like when he put the Chiefs uniform back on, it was like he was infused with life again, and he's like, like it's like he was he was like moved back in time to when he was last wearing the uniform. I'm not saying he's as explosive, but you're right in terms of like how hard he's running. It's crazy. Like that just wasn't happening in Cleveland. It wasn't. Like he was not shedding tackles. He was not knocking people backwards. He was kind of done.
He took a couple of pretty hard hits last night and just bounced right up and like just ran back for more.
He lowers his head like a battering ram, and he takes hits right to the head, and it's just like I don't think he's got much left up there, so I don't know if it matters, but man.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's
if we can get 5 or 10 games out of him till Pacheco's back, and
right.
I'm gonna say it. Like, I don't know if he can run like this. Pacheco, take your time. Make sure you're 100%.
No, I'm with you.
If I get this version of Kareem Hunt, my over/under is 14 now.
Yeah,
I think they're 14
here's the thing.
3.
Here's the only problem with this, right? He's 29?
29.
He's 29 years old.
He's been well rested the last couple of years, though.
But he just came. 29. He's 29, but he just came off a 25 carry performance. Like, you know what? He gonna feel that tomorrow. Like it's not like here's the deal.
Yeah.
Having both, but they get a bye week. Haha.
Yeah, true. and honestly, it does make you wonder if that was why it was part of the game plan, because he's got 2 weeks to recover. If we get Pacheco back, there is no problem splitting time 50-50 with these guys. There's no problem at all.
Carson Steele takes the L on that.
Well, fine.
Just except for my guillotine team, because I want Pacheco to come back all the way. But that's all right. I hear you.
Carson Steele did carry the ball a few times, and he kept both hands on the ball the entire time.
As he should.
He ran it too, and he got the ball on 4th down and looked great plowing through the line. Like that is helpful that they've shown that they've got some ability without having to risk.
If you if you can
God bless
teach
you.
him to run like this the entire time with both hands on the ball, and he controls
he
it
did
and
have-
gets you 3 or 4 yards. I mean,
He had that weird play where he damn near fumbled away the ball again, though.
Yeah, that
It
was
was like a
Travis.
weird reverse thing.
That
It
was
goofy.
Travis. Travis just whiffed on that block.
yeah,
And
It was
so
a
he was
missed
just trying
block.
to kind of like do what he could. And
He
it
should have
got
just fallen
bad.
on it, though.
Yeah,
Like
no.
holding it out like this, like, here you go, Saints defenders. Not the answer, man. I want him to just like, well, the play's not there and collapse. Just call it
Right.
good.
Hey,
Yeah.
But
hey,
he's a young
I do want to throw out Jody Fortson sighting. Jody Fortson sighting.
Yeah, I missed that they ain't even signed him from the practice squad. Like
I
that's
know.
just like-
I was like, "What? Jody Fortson's on the team?"
that's
He is-
I've never heard of a 4 tight end set, but we had multiple plays where we had
Yeah.
4
it's
tight
called
ends. on the field.
14 personnel.
Yeah, one
So
running back
it's like
and 4
11
tight ends.
personnel, 12 personnel, 13, and 14. I hear these like terms all the time, and I'd never even heard of 14. All the stat guys are losing their minds
I know.
Yeah.
on 14 personnel.
and I'll
It's
give
pretty
some.
rare.
And
I'll give
Gray,
some-
by the way, Noah Gray looks amazing.
Oh,
He
yeah.
looked fast
Noah Gray
yesterday.
looks like if Travis wants to step aside,
That's
he
it.
looks like somebody who could just step right in and be
I think
like
so,
an
too.
alpha tight end. Like I'm
On
happy
that-
with him.
On that play in like the first or second quarter where they're going right to left and he's going toward like the 15, 20-yard line, that play he caught in the middle was moving. I was like, holy crap, that looks just like Travis Kelce
Yeah.
of old.
No,
Yeah.
he's
The
finished to
fast
soak
young
up some
version.
Trav.
I also got to give a shout out to McCole Hardman, 4 catches.
He did.
You know, this guy came out of like he hasn't been involved in the game plan in some time. I will say I'm a little disappointed offensively that we haven't seen Wiley yet, and it makes me wonder:
Yeah.
is it like is he just not clicking, or
He's out there sometimes and he commits
He was
penalties.
he was in there, and I got to tell you, I didn't realize how big that dude is.
He's
but
huge.
He is tall. He's
He's
taller than
huge.
all the offensive linemen.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
out of 28 catches, he was not one of them.
right?
And
Yeah, I don't know that
Jody
he was
Fortson
ever
was.
targeted.
I know, but that's the thing. That's my point.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be
Oh,
even
28
a blip.
completions. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not even a blip. But
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
man.
He's going to play second or third fiddle. I mean, he's going to obviously be behind Kelsey. I think he's also behind Noah Gray at this point.
Yeah,
No, Gray's awesome.
yeah.
So he's at least third fiddle, and Fortson had one wide open catch. I don't think they were really actively targeting him all night or
Yeah.
anything. So
No, but Jody Fortson sighting, which makes
Yep.
me happy.
Well,
he
looking
was
forward
out
to
all last year. So
week 6. I feel confident we will remain undefeated and
I do too.
hopefully get to week 7.
We're
we
not
got
getting
five
a lot
weeks.
this
I
week.
promise I will take all bets so we will
I will
remain
too.
undefeated in week 6.
I'll double down. I'll double down on that.
We're crushing that not losing in week 6 thing.
I see what you did there, Dex. That's
Yeah,
well played.
there we go. So we will come back after the bye, and this is one of the games we had on our preseason kind of like little ticker see how we thought with the Chiefs would fare. And that's at 49ers is one we thought like that could be a tough one. That's probably an L. But the way
It's after
San
bye.
Fran's playing, man, I don't know. I mean,
I
there's no
almost kind of
CMC.
wish they were doing better because
Me
I'm a
too.
little more anxious with 2 and 3 and how much more desperate they're going to be.
That's it. They have to win.
No, they really
Yeah.
do. Like they may not win their division.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
I
I'm
mean,
worried about it for the
and there's
same
only-
reason.
There's only one team coming out of the West, man.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be getting some 500, 8-9, 9-8 poop team in there. And the Rams, they've kind of lost it too.
But everybody's live because everybody's lost multiple games.
You're
Right.
You're right. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, they're
All right, let's-
definitely dangerous though. So as we talk about our, I guess should we pivot to our picks then?
That's it. Going to picks.
So
All right.
last week, holy cow, guys. Okay, listen, I just want to let me preamble this for a second,
It's
Dex.
a bad week. I hate the week.
So let me just preamble
Let's
this,
recap
prudent
the old-
listeners.
Yeah.
We are a proud lot when it comes to our picks. We have a history of a couple seasons of being above 500 on the season where you're going to come out ahead. So I know if you're following and you're betting, you're like, these guys really suck. They suck at what they do. they are not good at picking NFL football games. And I could see where you would be coming from that position thus far into the season. But let me tell you what's about to happen, because history will repeat itself. We go on a run. We always go on a run. It's usually about this time. We keep expecting it. We had another bad week. We were 1-3, I believe. Is that correct, Dex? 1-3. You want to give?
Yeah,
give
1-3,
results.
1-3.
But listen, I just wanted to preamble and say, hang with us. We're going to get you some solid weeks. You're going to have a run come out of us soon. All right, Dex, give us the background. What happened?
All right, so last week we took our one winner. So Pruitt picked Washington to just piss pound on Cleveland and did so.
Woo-hoo!
Then there's the rest of them. Then we had Chisholm's pick. He had Seattle -6. And the Giants and Daniel Jones, White Lamar came out of nowhere and just dominated without Malik Neighbors even. And not only covered,
Seattle.
they won. They won by 9. Yeah, they flew 3,000 miles and beat the crap out of the Seattle Seahawks. 29-20, so lost that one. We had the New York Jets, which, man, I didn't veto it because I was like, well, weird things happen. But the Vikings did what the Vikings been doing. They came out strong ahead, and then they kind of gave back a little bit. But it was really never in doubt. 23-17.
It was one
Not
final
at
interception.
all.
They had
Not
that.
at all. Whatever. So after Aaron Jones went out, there's less offense, obviously. But at the end of the day, Jets loser because the Vikings skull in London. So and then my pick.
Just quickly though, Dex, how did what's the quarterback's name for the Vikings? How did he do that game?
So the Jets have a very good defense. But Sam Darnold did just fine. He's what a 5-0 quarterback looks like, as he just keeps rolling into his bye week as well. I have no football really to watch this week other than fantasy football players. So Vikings on bye, Chiefs on bye. My pick last week was the Carolina Panthers. I thought, no way they don't even hang within a field goal of these ratty, poopy, stupid Bears. And those ratty, stupid Bears have the longest home winning streak in the NFL, and they won again. Not only did they win, they poured it on. 36-10. It wasn't even close. It was never close except for 3 minutes in the first quarter. So not good. Missed on that one terribly. That's where we are last week. So with that said, we did not do well last week.
So where are we on the What are we on the season, Prue?
Chisholm is 3-1-1. I am 3-2. Dex and Lou are both 1-4 so far.
Oh,
we told you to fade us from the beginning, though. But now we're getting ready to go strong.
so what is that? What is that? What are we combined? What are we combined?
8-11-1.
Okay,
we need a good week.
We're gonna have a good week.
We're right back over 500.
This is it. We're gonna have a good week.
All right.
So I was just looking back at our history. We had a stretch of 6 weeks one year where we missed 3 total picks in 6 weeks.
Unbelievable
Stretch.
Stay with us. We're gonna get there.
We just need some things to go the way that they're supposed to go.
We'll regress to the mean. And
That's
it
right.
Looks like this is coming.
Yeah,
we're due.
All right, so let's start this week. Pruitt, who would you like to take for this week's lock of the week?
So I am leaning. I'm not just leaning. I'm taking Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta over Carolina. Carolina did not show up last week. They are, I think, starting Bryce Young again, which is probably not going to go well. And Atlanta has extra days off. They played the Thursday night game, so they've had a little more rest time. Generally helps teams bounce back hard the next week.
What if it's Andy Dalton, who is still slated to be the quarterback as of right now?
I still think Kirk Cousins is figuring out his team. He's fared really well the last 2 or 3 weeks.
We mentioned this before we got on the air, but this line moved drastically, which makes me think that Vegas has some kind of knowledge that they are expecting Bryce Young this week. Because, it moved to now Panthers +6.5.
And that'd be fantastic. So we'll take that.
But Sunday night after
quickly.
the game, it was 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay. All
grab
right,
it quickly.
Dog.
It needs to be minus 6.5, ideally. -7, okay. I wouldn't go beyond that.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think they take them at least by a touchdown.
All right, Lou, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to run to the smell. I'm going for New England +7. It's actually been moving away from New England. They were 7.5 on Sunday night. Currently, New England is +7. I think that half point is Drake May has just been called the starter, and Vegas has seen enough of Jacoby Brissett to know that he's trash. A nice guy, go to heaven, coach on the field. We can say lots of things about him, but he's not an NFL quarterback at this point. So, I will take the Texans. I think are going to be banged up. You're losing a couple. They lost a couple major pieces. I did watch that game on Sunday, and the Bills haven't been playing well, and they almost lost to them at home. So I don't think they're necessarily firing on all cylinders. They've got injuries. I think the Patriots going to get easy, cheap, late touchdown. So.
All right. Sounds
Like
good.
it. I like it.
Chisholm, do you have another smelly poop pick for us?
No, I
that
got a
works
good
out?
one. I got a good one. So, I'm coming off my first loss. So, I don't know what this feels like. It's been a while. So I'm smarting a little bit, but I feel like this is a strong pick because there's one thing I know living in Dallas, and it's when people get excited about Dallas, it's time to fade Dallas. And everybody thinks that Dallas is where it's at now because they beat the hapless Pittsburgh Steelers
On the last play of the game.
on the last play at Pittsburgh. So everyone's super excited, and they're like, Dak's the real deal, blah, blah, blah. So the Detroit Lions are coming into town, and the Detroit Lions are a significantly better football team than Dallas Cowboys. They are laying 3 points. I think they're going by 14. I am going to ladder this one, but lock it at -3. Personally, I will be laddering it because it's time for the just so predictable Dak stink burger after a big W. So lock those Lions up. Coming off the bye, fresh. Cowboys are beat down, -3. Take them all day.
I like it. That works for me. All right, so I am going to go. I'm going to jump in this frying pan one more time about hating Chicago. I'm gonna watch this young team, young quarterback, go to London. And Jacksonville, that's basically their second home, if we're being realistic. They go to London every single year. They have a huge following, huge crowd. And while listed as the visiting team, it's going to be a home Jacksonville crowd.
Yeah.
And they are road dogs at 2.5 points. So I think they're going to win the game for one. So, and if it's not, it's going to be some weird thing. So +2.5, Jacksonville in London. Against the Bears. So hopefully Caleb comes back to earth after his pretty good game last week and screwing me with Carolina. If he screws me again, I'm not betting Bears ever again. Betting against him. So whatever. Let's go Jacksonville.
So we're gonna start with a Sunday morning victory to get the parlay off nicely.
That's
then
right.
We're gonna move into the noon games. The Patriots are going to cover against the Texans, and then we're going to get the Falcons, Panthers. No, wait. Pruitt, who'd you take?
Yep.
Falcons.
We're going to take the Falcons -6 at the hapless Panthers, and then we're going to roll into the 3:30 games and watch the Cowboys lay an egg. So you got a full day worth of football watching with our bets here. We covered the whole day, and it's going to be just nothing but money. Be sure to send us, whatever you feel is appropriate as part of the juice for whatever you win. Just out of courtesy, but no set rate.
Right.
That's right.
Well,
That's it. All right, spin us up, Prue Dog.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast this week. Good luck on your bets. Anything beyond our picks of the week are you're totally on your own. We do not condone any other sure thing bets this week, but you can lock these up.
That's right.
Like, follow, subscribe on all the platforms. Don't
That's
forget to do
right.
that
We
for
appreciate
us.
your support. This is the Shrewdness Podcast signing off. Talk to you next week.